Bourbonbarkeep, my name's Curtis. We're double dipping into the whiskey of the year. If you've seen the channel, you've seen the bang for the buck scoring, and you're like, what is that? And sometimes I ask the same thing. And I'm like, do I scrap it? And then people are like, yeah, we like it. And I'm like, all right, this is for you. So this is what bang for the buck actually does. So we put out top 10 whiskeys of the year, Bourbonbarkeep edition. To be fair, I don't know. I haven't posted that actually yet while I'm filming this thing, so I don't know how that's gone over. But bang for the buck, that's something that not is unique, but in terms of caring about our wallets, we try and throw a little flavor in there. I've actually adjusted some of the scoring in terms of like how I go about scoring bang for the buck. And you're like, some of these just need more credit. And I'm kind of happy I did, because there was not a lot of repeats in terms of, hey, the Senses, yay, Little Book, The Infinite, scored over 90. Now all of a sudden it's a good bang for your buck. You're like, that doesn't make sense. So we're growing. We're seeing how the algorithm plays with everything. I'll just throw out AI because everybody is at this point, even though it's not involved yet. Old school. So these rankings, this is going to be Senses taken into account, bang for the buck, now taken into account, unlike the last episode. There will be a couple repeats, but ultimately I was pleasantly surprised with how everything kind of played out at this point. So, Bourbonbarkeep Bang for Your Buck edition, Whiskey of the Year, number 10, we got I'm just kidding. That would be... Did you unsubscribe already? Unsubscribed already. Great. All right. New Riff. Red turkey wheat. It was absolutely delicious. New Riff, at least for me at this point, has kind of earned like a, hey, we dropped something and I'm going to buy it. I was really disappointed that at least my area didn't see the 10-year bourbon and rye that they put out, because I asked and asked and asked, and we did not see it. So if New Riff is seeing this, Kansas City needs you at this point. But nonetheless, this guy at $50, $60, at least for me, it dropped on their website. I was like, let's find that free shipping. And they didn't have one. And I said, well, here we go. And then the white label showed up. And I'm like, I made a horrible mistake. And then I poured it. And I was like, wow, this is like berries, cream, and like cinnamon cereal. And I loved it. I loved it at $60. The specs don't check all the boxes, but in terms of just pure experience, it was absolutely delicious. And at $50, absolute steal. Coming in at 100 proof. They did tell us it was 5 years old. So like I said, those specs didn't check a ton of boxes, but in terms of just palate experience, this was an absolute dynamite pour. It's going to be even better, I can tell you, in the spring. Proof helps, but that berries and cream, you're like, yeah, get those tulips going. A little Easter Bunny action, a little New Riff in my life. Next bottle, I felt like it was a little overhyped. You start talking about, hey, here's a stag killer. And you're like, I love stag. Hey, Colonel H. Taylor Baylor proof. This is taking them down every time, unanimous. And you're like, yes, please. And then you try it and you're like, oh. And then you take a step back and you're like, you know what? If we took the firstborn off the pedestal, he's not that big of a screw up. That's this bottle. Yep. Jefferson's Cask Strength. They brought absolute heat to the bourbon whiskey market, if you will. 8 years, 130 proof, coming in at $70. Absolutely delicious. I love it. It's just, it's simple, not in a bad way. $70, let's curb our expectations, and the specs punch above it, which matter in bang for the buck. Not everything, but it matters. But it's just this incredible caramel, creme brulee, and just nice baking spice all the way through, done extremely well. Great finish at that 130 proof. You could argue it drinks a little below it. I feel like 130 is aggressive, but ultimately it's just absolutely delicious. Oh God, someone's at my door. Are they breaking in? Nope, Amazon. If that didn't come through the microphone, this is dumb. But anyways, Jefferson's. It's a buy at $70. It's simple, tried and true, done extremely well. Now it's $7, hoping I don't get robbed. We shall see. Penelope, they were featured on the channel quite a bit this year. Some good. Looking at you, Penelope Weeded. Was a little disappointed they didn't make it. Did they punch that far above 45? No. But this one did. This is their private estate. 10 years, 106.8. Why it's not 107? Good question. I've asked that many times. Their 4-grain mash bill. Great packaging. Yeah, I care about that for bang for the buck because it's my channel. And I just like a good package sometimes. This guy coming in just rich brown sugar, baking spice, kind of this nice red fruit, just absolutely delicious. That 106.8, can we just say 107? It hits perfectly. It's just a great proof to where you have the viscosity and it doesn't absolutely blow your socks off, and it doesn't need to be 10 degrees to actually enjoy the bottle. This one just absolutely shocked me, and I was pumped. I went in blind and came out seeing. This one, I was kind of talked into buying. Not gonna lie to you. I went in, saw my guy Deep. Shout out Deep. He was like, "Hey, I got this," and I'm like, "I don't know what that is. What is that?" So I don't spoil it. And I just felt too bad. I couldn't say no. He's a sweet, sweet man, and yeah, I went for it. What can I say? Back-to-back Penelope. I had no idea what a light American whiskey was. And then he told me it was 17 years old, dang near hazmat, 138.8 proof, 17 years old. And I was like, I can't afford that. And he said, it's $100. And I said, okay, that checks a lot of boxes. I came on here and it was absolutely delicious. If you like apple cinnamon Cheerios and strawberries, this is that. It's so good. The viscosity is fantastic. I was a little nervous at the 138.8 proof. That may have been the hottest I had ever drank at that point. And I would say it drinks under in a kind of a good way. Like, I feel like you say that high of proof and you're like, dear Father, are you living? And maybe we're dead inside. I don't know. You got to have thick skin when you got a bunch of ladies running around upstairs and young ones. That sounded weird. I didn't like that. But we're going to keep going, so I can't edit it. Joke's on you, guy. Penelope Light American Whiskey, $100, 17 years, that high of proof, and just absolutely delicious. It was fun. It was a fun whiskey year because I got to try American single malts and apparently light American whiskey. Shout out Jacob's Pardon. I don't even know if you're up here right now. That was another light American whiskey to where you're like, are you finished in rum? If that was $100, that may have made it up here too, but it was $180, so it didn't. Now, rounding out our bottom 5 of the top 10. Didn't find a better way to say that, but let's do number 6. Yes, they made it. It wouldn't be a Bourbonbarkeep Whiskey of the Year without Ben Holiday up here. And sure enough, they put out a brand new banger. They got the 8-year bottle out there. It's the oldest that I believe they've ever put out. And I love it. Just no way around it. 8 years, 5 months. What's the proof? Oh, no, they're going to make me do math. No, they're not. 121.8. Thanks, Ben. Out of Weston, Missouri. Absolutely love those guys. Their regular line at like $50. Incredible juice. Their Rickhouse proof at $70. Incredible juice. 8 years, oldest they've ever done at $90. It's incredible. Great viscosity, great sweetness. So tasty note wise, I'm going to go raspberry, brown sugar, and oddly enough, cotton candy on the nose. That sounds ridiculously sweet, but a lot of oak still comes through, and the richness of the brown sugars and that red fruit and this nice leather and tobacco really rounded in on the palate. It was so close to making top 10. Whiskey of the year, price not included. It fell just slightly flat in terms of what High West was bringing to the table. Like, just the viscosity was just slightly lacking, which was shocking between the proofs of them. But ultimately, the experience, it punches above 90. If you told me that they were putting out an 8-year at $115, $120, and I got to taste it, I would say that's worth it. So punches very far above what it's actually bringing to the table. Congrats to them. I cannot wait to see what they do in the coming years. I mean, when they release that 10-year, because they have to at this point, I will be first in line at this point. All right, top 5 whiskey of the years, bang for your buck. Let's get it on. Number 5. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. This is not A or C. This is B. B525, absolute dynamite pour. Some would say Elijah Craig was back. And then at least for this channel, they released C. And you're like, damn it. But B, absolute banger. I know people have really struggled to find B. A just seems to be sitting, which actually was pretty good. But ultimately, when you're talking bang for your buck, you got 11 years, 6 months, 126.2 proof, legacy distillery. This is what people were expecting. Yes, I understand everybody's upset about dropping the age statement, and this is still under what that was. Fine. I get it. Ultimately, it was a great pour. I'm worried about where Elijah Craig Barrel Proof is going. I know Kurt on SLB, the OG channel, praise to them. But ultimately, he kind of suggested, hey, let's just put out one. And then you're like, okay, well, does that... I understand Stag Jr. doesn't put out 3, but they do put out 3, but no one sees 3. Does it turn into that? Maybe, but I understand what he's talking about, where it's like, if you just can't keep up, do that. But ultimately, that's the Debbie Downer side of the B batch, specs, price at $75, the tasting note and experience that you relatively come to expect from the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. B batch had it, and it deserves to be in the top 5 for sure at $75. Incredible pour. Now, number 4, we got, once again, another polarizing bottle. I don't know why, but everybody's palate's different, so no judgment. Old Fitzgerald 7-year, bottled in bond, 100 proof at, what was it, $60? It was unbelievable. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I felt like the experience at 100 proof was great. It had these great red fruits and richness to it that I felt it tasted above that $60 mark, that's for sure. Presentation, on point, good for Heaven Hill again, but ultimately for being a weeder that I don't really gravitate towards, I thought it hit the mark. I actually think that this took away maybe from their Larceny Barrel Proof line to where just fell flat on their face at this point, but ultimately the Old Fitz at $60. If you told me I didn't have a bottle, I would pay $85, $90 for it. So take that for what it is. I understand the specs probably don't punch that far, but in terms of experience, taste, richness, it tastes like a pretty rich bottle at that point. So some people hated it. Cool. I loved it. And here we are. Now, top 3. I can guarantee you have no idea what 3 is. Double dipping on the new riff, Balboa Rye. This was probably my favorite pour, one that was easy enough to just share the love with, because I could find it everywhere. It's low proof, so you don't have to like kill someone or have their esophagus felt like they drank Drano. This Balboa rye, I believe my tasting note was the 4th of July. It hit all of these like fresh baked goods, blueberry pie with lemonade, and there's this smokiness. I'm not a plant guy, but there's like this smokiness that actually reminded me a ton of Little Book Chapter 7, to where they integrated that applewood. It was phenomenal. I don't think that this is a substitute by any means, but it's one of the few times to where I've gotten this just great kind of barbecue smokiness tasting note, to where think of lawn chair, fireworks, your little kids running around so you're not a creeper. It just brought me to that, and I think that that's one of those experiences with whiskey that just makes it fun, to where it kind of transports you somewhere. And I know it wasn't the drunkenness at 100 proof. Pretty sure. That Balboa rye at $50, $60 is a fun journey. It's a complex pour, but it's fruit forward enough and sweet enough and just kind of fun enough that I think that anybody could pour this and thoroughly enjoy it. Now, top 2, I'm not going to spoil number 1. They could be repeats. They could not be. We shall see if you've watched other episodes. Number 2, Whiskey of the Year, bang for your buck. It honestly wasn't close. Sagamore, 10-year rye. You have a little more age over here at $80, a little more proof. The experience is unbelievable. For this bringing me to kind of 4th of July, for whatever reason, on the Spotlight episode, this brought me right into Christmas with kind of that gingerbread and molasses, peach cobbler, a little bit of mint on there. It's been unbelievable. And I'm going to repeat what I said on the other episode for the people that haven't watched it at this point. I spent too much money on whiskey this year. This is not bragging. I kind of feel guilty, if you will, about what's behind me, the bottles that are up here. But ultimately, this was so good, I've had to talk myself off the ledge of buying another one. I want to back this up so bad. It brings you to Christmas morning. The tasting notes are absurd, and at $80, under $100, it is an absolute must-buy. If you see it, there's enough reputable secondary sites that aren't charging an obscene amount yet. That's worth a snag, especially if you can find free shipping, because you know I'm a sucker for free shipping. Number 1, Whiskey of the Year, bang for your buck. I don't understand. I'm pretty sure this is the second year in a row Jack Daniel's 12 has won. I didn't get to try Jack Daniel's 14. This at $95 is absurd. It's under the $10 a year mark. It's above 100 proof. I love that 107 proof. At $95, I could walk into a store tomorrow, see it on the shelf for $150 and be like, that makes sense. I want that. I want 2 of those. It punches far above its price point. I understand you can't find it, even when it's on secondary at, I don't know, $150? I don't know what it is. I haven't checked. You're kind of like, yeah, that's still kind of a good deal at this point. It's won Whiskey of the Year in Senses. It's won it on Bang for the Buck maybe 2 years in a row. No, Russell's 15 did. I take that back. But ultimately, that bottle is just so good. Now, granted, you do have to like some barrel influence. Heavy barrel char, nice molasses, this nice kind of like banana nut muffin to it. But boy, for my palate, that's exactly where I want to be. Batch 3 was even better than batch 1, because I think that's what I reviewed it at. I didn't go back and look. So we're still in the same predicament as the other episode. But ultimately, it beat the previous batch that I had. Was it close? Yes, very close. But side by side, it was better. $95, I don't know. ultimately, this is kind of what this channel was started on in terms of keeping a budget in mind, but also trying to find really great whiskey. So yeah, you want to sit there and try and hunt the Master Keep Beacon, the Little Book Infinite. Those are really fun bottles, and I fully understand not everybody can find them, let alone buy them. Sometimes I feel like I'm in that category, to be fair. But these bottles up here, all under $100, all hit incredible specs, and all are incredible whiskeys to pour. It shows you, yeah, some of the upper tier, they taste better. Do you need them? No. These are all fantastic pours. You got a rye, you got a wheater, you got another rye, and then two incredible bottles that punch far above what their price tag is. So maybe a lesson to myself for next year, for turning pages, just be a little better on the whiskey budget. Maybe as a human, that would be probably better than the whiskey budget. I mean, who needs college, right? They don't need college. Hopefully they're just great people, find great husbands. I don't know. We'll see. We're rooting for it. Hopefully you're rooting for him. 2026, it'll be better. We're just going to speak it into existence as I ramble. Like and subscribe. I'm pretty sure I haven't said that in 5 episodes at this point. Happy New Year to you all. Curious what you all pop for the New Year's Eve. If you want to leave a comment, what's the New Year pour, and then go dry for weeks because you got to detox.